Tank Lawrence, a new member of the Seattle Seahawks after many years playing for the Dallas Cowboys with distinction, I might add.
For sure.
And a Dallas person through and through, also from there. So he's now with the Seattle Seahawks and had this to say when he was talking in Seattle for the first time as a member of the Seahawks.
Change of scenery is always good, but, Dallas is my home. I made my home there. My family lives there. I'm forever going to be there, but, I know for sure I'm not going to win a Super Bowl there. So, yeah. We here.
We here. He's like, yeah, he knew what he was saying. And in this day and age, you say it to a Hawk blogger or you say it to whomever, it's going to get out. Mm-hmm. And it got out. And then it got enhanced because it got retweeted by none other than Micah Parsons, who called this what rejection and envy looks like. This some clown S.
Wow.
And then Tank responds to Micah, calling me a clown won't change the fact that I told the truth. Maybe if you spent less time tweeting and more time winning, I wouldn't have left. And that is in reference to what is truly undercurrent that you get from Dallas nonstop. I heard it at the Combine. I hear it all the time. And you hear it too. Everybody hears it. Mm-hmm. Is that Micah isn't the most popular in his place of business because of a lot of the talking and the tweeting and the podcast and all of that business. And if that's at all true, if there's any truth to that, I would not that he wants my 2 cents, but he has sat in this chair, right? I once upon a time when Micah was here,
this is a fact,
swapped seats.
And he brought pizza.
I will counsel Micah to tread lightly because Tank appears to be a veteran in his early to mid-30s who is out of F's to give and is also maybe referencing the undercurrent you hear from Dallas and you see is the subtext of every Dallas is in trouble story, that the Cowboys are about winning. They're about winning championships, but they're also about making sure that the Cowboys are a cash cow. And let's have such and such move practice because there's a tennis tournament going on in the Star. Or let's have the players being looked at while they eat and work out and all that sort of business because we're going to have tours come through. And the Cowboys are more than just a football team. They're an attraction. And if that is at all true, then Tank is potentially ready to talk. And we're all ears when it comes to that. Mm-hmm. That said, on the other side of things, it's my opinion on it. Myles Garrett has turned me into a cynic. And potentially, Tank was one of those free agents that I heard at the Combine they were not all in on anymore. They were all out on. And Stephen Jones, even when he was talking about selective aggressivity and free agency, kind of intimated that Tank might retire. And the Cowboys didn't pay him. And Seattle did. And this does sound like a guy who didn't get the money and is now in a different spot and ready to
move on.
Well,
we already moved
or lob in some verbal bouquets like that every now and then. Maybe he's just done that, and the ensuing kerfuffle of all the shows that talk about this sort of stuff might make this a one-and-done comment from Tank. Who knows? But there's some there, don't you think? I think Demarion Overshone just recently tweeted out in the last few minutes, Cowboys versus everybody, which is something that, obviously rings less than hollow to me because Michigan versus everybody did lead to a natty.
I mean, I've had that T-shirt for years, Cowboys versus everybody.
But
look, man, as if, okay, he's not that well-liked. Well, Michael Jordan wasn't the most well-liked. I'm not comparing Michael Jordan to Micah Parsons. Just saying
you're saying that you can win with a star player who rubs people the wrong way, potentially.
By the way, you would want to. You'd want
Michael
you want everybody to get along.
If I may be different, if I may push back.
Okay.
Michael was the red ass to his teammates, as he said in The Last Dance, because he was pulling people when they didn't want to be pulled. Mm-hmm. And he was all about winning. He wasn't podcasting. Michael didn't have anything with Bleacher Report. You know what I mean?
True.
So there's a different thing. But I do have this certificate here that still is unsigned. There's a notary sitting over there with his equipment.
I'm going to hide that, by the way.
I'm starting to think I should have put an expiration date on there.
You shouldn't have made it. That's the first. Your first error was
the 25-26 season.
So that technically is an expiration.
So that's the next 2 years, basically. It's not like the NBA where it bleeds one into the next. It's still these are two. It's a 2-season release.
Just wait to see where Arch goes, TJ.
You know what I mean? No.
So what are your thoughts? I guess Tommy in Washington wanted to know.
What are my thoughts?
Here, bring Tommy back on. Is Tommy there? Is Tommy still there? Tommy, you still there? You still there in Yakima? Are you still in Yakima?
After all that?
Are you in Tacoma now? I mean, I did talk a while.
He might be in Portland at this point.
I'm almost at Ellensburg at this point.
Okay,
but we're
all right. Now talk to Tommy. Give Tommy his answer.
So your question, Tommy, was how do I feel about this?
Yes.
Okay. Well, if you watch the show, I've said for years that I feel at this point the Cowboys as an organization are more worried about the brand of the Dallas Cowboys than the football team, the Dallas Cowboys. I don't understand a lot of the moves that they make. I don't know why we wait to pay players so long, costing them extra money. But also with Tank Lawrence, right? I like Tank Lawrence. Great Cowboy for his time there. But he was also a guy who, after a playoff game, went on a national show and said we were tired. Like, you can't come out and say, like, you were tired at the end of the season and that's why you lost. And as far as the podcast stuff goes, I don't know, Rich, is that big of a deal
I wouldn't know.
In the locker room?
I honestly, I'm not in there. I don't know.
A pulse more than any of us do.
But Micah, again, Tank is basically saying to Micah that he's not all. I mean, I don't know. Is there a play where you could see he gets beat or he takes a play off and you're like, you know what? If he didn't spend Tuesday getting ready for his podcast, he would have actually won that rep.
Yes,
like, I don't know how, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know how
it
the manifests in that way.
Yeah.
And also, I'm sorry, go ahead,
Tommy.
Sorry, but to kind of cut you guys off there, the question isn't really as far as would the podcasting lend itself better to the Dallas Cowboys doing better, which obviously it wouldn't because people have their free time and hobbies as far as just doing stuff outside of football. It's more of Tank getting at the point that, the Cowboys are not going anywhere and holding on. I mean, this is just me reading more into the situation, but holding on to players like Micah Parsons and CeeDee Lamb and all that is kind of to the detriment of the Cowboys.
No, I don't know about that. But what's to the detriment of the Cowboys, I think, and Tommy, thank you for the call. Appreciate it.
Thanks for
Drive safely. Keep your head on a swivel and your hands on 10 and 2. Is signing these guys late.
Yep.
How does that affect the team?
Yeah.
In terms of building the roster. Because you're sitting here seeing,
and just creating anxiety.
Dude, it's just like the Cowboys are the only ones paying a quarterback $60 million. The Cowboys are one of 2 teams paying a receiver over $34 million. The Cowboys waited to a point where if they had signed Micah Parsons when they could have gotten him for low to mid 30s. Now it's going to be 40. Yep. And you're watching other teams make splashes, and potentially the reason why there is no splash is because they're making the splashes too big for their salary cap because they're waiting too damn long. I don't know. ways around it. But I guess in advance of the what's more likely we're about to do, what is more likely? Seattle or the Cowboys
winning the Super Bowl?
Go further. And right.
Okay,
How about just go further this year?
Neither one of those teams are winning the Super Bowl. Let's just be honest.
I'll still take Dallas.
To go further?
Yeah. To win a playoff game? Yeah.
Well, I guess it depends on how much you feel Sam is ready to go there.
I'm also looking at what's around them. I like Dallas a little bit more.
Well, let's see what Seattle does on that. What if they sign Cooper Kupp to go with Jackson Smith and Jigba and have those two running backs, and they keep beefing up that line, and they get another player?
What if Dallas takes
note on either side?
What
of
if
the ball?
Dallas gets Ashton Genty?
I don't think they're gonna.
Because he doesn't fall to them,
Correct.
or he doesn't make it to 12?
Heck yeah.
Okay.
Heck yeah. But that would be a splash on draft night. They trade up and go get him.
Yes.
And I think they have to get into the top 10 to do it because they think the Bears are going to go get him.
I agree.
Bears need to chill. They've been
Now
doing
you sound like I'm on Ross St. Brown. I think we have to go to break before you start working blue. Catch the Rich Eisen Show live weekdays from 12 to 3 p.m. Eastern on Roku Sports Channel in the U.S.